My name is Joe. Today's message is entitled, Who is Jesus Christ and Why Should We Believe in Him as Christians? But today we will divide the topic into two parts. Part 1. Who is Jesus Christ? And Part 2. Why should we believe in Him as Christians? So please take your pens, notebooks and Bibles as we start now. Thank you. Who is Jesus Christ? He is the Son of God. Luke 1:32 and Mark 1:11. The fulfillment of the Old Scriptures. Matthew 5:17. He was born by Virgin Mary, and his earthly father was Joseph, a descendant or son of David. Matthew 1:20. His name given by prophecy from prophet Isaiah was Emmanuel, meaning God with us. Isaiah 7:14. But the name revealed to Virgin Mary by angel Gabriel was Jesus, meaning the Lord saves. And it is derived or translated from the Hebrew word Yeshua. Christ is also derived from the Greek word Christos and also Mashiach in Hebrew, which means the Anointed One. He was a prophet. As the Bible describes in the book of Isaiah chapter 53 verse 2 to 12. He grew up before him like a tender shoot, and like a root out of dry ground. He had no beauty or majesty to attract us to him, nothing in his appearance that we should desire him. He was despised and rejected by mankind, a man of suffering, and familiar with pain. Like one from whom people hide their faces, he was despised, and we held him in low esteem. Surely he took up our pain and bore our suffering, yet we considered him punished by God, stricken by him, and afflicted. But he was pierced for our transgressions, he was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was on him, and by his wounds we are healed. We all, like sheep, have gone astray, each of us has turned to our own way. And the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all. He was oppressed and afflicted, yet he did not open his mouth. He was led like a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before its shearers is silent, so he did not open his mouth. By oppression and judgment he was taken away. Yet who of his generation protested? For he was cut off from the land of the living. For the transgression of my people he was punished. He was assigned a grave with the wicked, and with the rich in his death, though he had done no violence, nor was any deceit in his mouth. Yet it was the Lord's will to crush him and cause him to suffer, and though the Lord makes his life an offering for sin, he will see his offspring and prolong his days, and the will of the Lord will prosper in his hand. After he has suffered, he will see the light of life and be satisfied. By his knowledge my righteous servant will justify many, and he will bear their iniquities. Therefore I will give him a portion among the great, and he will divide the spoils with the strong, because he poured out his life into death, and was numbered with the transgressors. For he bore the sin of many, and made intercession for the transgressors. About the birth of Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ was not born on the 25th of December, because there is no evidence for this date. The early Christian church did not celebrate Jesus' birth. It wasn't until the church officially proclaimed December 25th as the birth of Christ. This was not based on any religious evidence but on a pagan feast. Saturnalia was a tradition inherited by the Roman pagans from an earlier Babylonian priesthood. December 17th to 25th was used as a celebration of the birthday of the sun god. It was observed near the winter solstice. When you read from 1 Corinthians 12:2, Isaiah 2:6, 1 Corinthians 10:20 and Matthew 18:17. The apostles in the Bible predicted that some Christians would adopt pagan beliefs to enable them to make their religion more palatable to the pagans around them. Therefore, some scholars think the church chose the date of this pagan celebration to interest them in Christianity. The pagans were already used to celebrating on this date. Every winter, Romans honored the pagan god Saturn, the god of agriculture, with Saturnalia, a festival that began on December 17th and usually ended on or around December 25th with a winter solstice celebration in honor of the beginning of the new solar cycle. This festival was a time of merrymaking, and families and friends would exchange gifts. At the same time, Mithraism, worship of the ancient Persian god of light, was popular in the Roman army, and the cult held some of its most important rituals on the winter solstice. an account of my research. Some believe that John Chrysostom argued that December 25th was the correct date, and from that day till now, the Church in the East, as well as the West, has observed the 25th of December as the official date of Christ's birth. And some also believe that after the Roman Emperor Constantine converted to Christianity in 312 and sanctioned Christianity, church leaders made efforts to appropriate the winter solstice holidays and thereby achieve a more seamless conversion to Christianity for the emperor's subjects. In rationalizing the celebration of Jesus' birthday in late December, church leaders may have argued that since the world was allegedly created on the spring equinox, late March, so too would Jesus have been conceived by God on that date. The Virgin Mary, pregnant with the Son of God, would hence have given birth to Jesus 9 months later on the winter solstice. The Bible itself tells us that December 25th is an unlikely date for his birth. Palestine is very cold in December. It was much too cold to ask everyone to travel to the city of their fathers to register for taxes. Also, the shepherds were in the fields, Luke 2, 8-12. Shepherds were not in the fields in the winter time. They are in the fields early in March until early October. This would place Jesus' birth in the spring or in summer. So my dear brethren, I would like to end today's message, the part 1, here, and continue the part 2, which is entitled, Why Should We Believe in Jesus Christ as Christians? On another date. Thank you. Be blessed and stay tuned for the next update. Peace.